This pharmacist got a death penalty for unaliving this young boy. His name is Blessing. But no matter what you do not take tramadol on empty stomach. I'm just saying that, shall. Those of you that have ears. Blessing was a young 11 years old boy, was in GSS 3, and he lived around Upper Sakomba, all those areas where things are not really the way it should. He's one of those rare, brilliant kids who made you proud. But somewhere along the line, he mixed with wrong boys. And those boys introduced him into taking pills. First, we just called Testy and then Tramadol. After that, it became normal. So all these things were going on until he collapsed one night after taking 3 capsules on empty stomach. Now, on empty stomach, Tramadol enters the blood more rapidly, leading to sudden increase in the drug level. Now, this increase can cause severe symptoms in children and small-bodied individuals. If you're not fat, if you're not big, if you're slim, can lead to spike in tramadol level in your body, and then something like that can lead to slow breathing because of the rapid absorption, severe respiratory depression, loss of consciousness, brain damage, and death. Blessing never woke up. Now, Blessing's mother, her name is Victoria. Now, she found out the next morning because he didn't get up when he usually used to get up, and then she woke him, shook him. When she realized that he was not waking up, she also fainted. Both of them were rushed to a nearby hospital by neighbors in the house. This face my face yours. Now, unfortunately, her son did not get up, but she survived. But something happened. They were able to have access to Blessing's phone. Now, what an 11-year-old boy do with a phone? But that is a question for another time. So they checked his phone and they saw a chat the previous day from a person named Osas T-Med. I don't know why he renamed it T-Med. He's a smart kid, so probably he was just abbreviating it for something that Osas did for him. So she opened the chat. She was just checking different chats, checking SMS to see what he was up to that may have led to his death. And then she opened the chat and she saw different drug requests and transactions between this Osas and her son Blessing. So she and her neighbors and relatives, people also who came to Sparta, they quickly walked to the closest police station and then they reported the case. Now the police acted very fast. Now they came in with their Sienna, no noise, no siren, just plain clothes. They were not even wearing the police uniform, mufti. So they just went into the pharmacy because they had an idea where the pharmacy was. From the chart, they could see the transfer from Blessing's OPay, and they could see the name of the pharmacy, and then it's close by there. The policeman and his mother knew where the pharmacy was, and then they went there. As soon as they entered, they asked where is Osas, and he identified himself. Before he could answer what's going on, so you're under arrest. Everybody came up, all the staff. What happened? The pharmacy came out with his lab coats. They arrested him. They arrested Osas. They arrested the pharmacist. Led to why is his name. They arrested the cashier. Her name is Sandra. The owner of the pharmacy stepped out, and then when he noticed what was happening, the crowd that was gathering outside his pharmacy, he meowed. That's what we call it. So at first, Osas denied everything. I'm not selling anything for the boy. I don't know him. But when the police showed him the screenshots of the charts, his voice came down. He was trying to bargain with the policeman, but too late. So it was on the chart that he had sold tramadol to Blessing more than once. We don't know how long Blessing has been taking tramadol, but the one that actually led to his death was actually dispensed by Osas because of the dates on the chart. Meanwhile, the pharmacist was in bigger trouble now. Pharmacist Edward was a licensed pharmacist with just few years of experience, just 2. Initially, he had warned Osas and even told the employer, please, I do not like dispensing or selling. The employer told him that this is how we sell it here. Now, this is how it works. Now, a pharmacy has a special shelf where they keep some medicines. Now, these medicines, they are usually referred to as prescription-only medicines or POM. Now, the shelf is usually in the pharmacist office. No, it's not just in the pharmacy hall, inside the pharmacist office, and then it has a lock, and the pharmacist goes away with the key. When he closes from work, even if the pharmacy has not closed, he takes the key of that POM shelf home to prevent indiscriminate assessment of the list. Now, tramadol belongs to the class of drugs that are in that shelf. So also every other drug that can cause addiction and are extremely harmful. Majorly, the license of the pharmacy or the pharmacy himself is tied to that shelf. If anything goes wrong with drugs from that shelf or any drug from outside shelf, can be understood. But the one from that shelf, you don't take it lightly with the pharmacy. But this time, pharmacist Edward turned a blind eye because his employer has pressured him to release the key, and then anybody just go there to sell tramadol because that's where they make their money. So right now, his license on the line, but not just his license, his life. He didn't sell the tramadol himself, but he was the one in charge of the pharmacy. That was a problem. So this case drew a lot of attention from civil rights groups because, like I mentioned, Blessing was a brilliant student. He was in several clubs like Red Cross, Jet Club, and the like. So when they noticed that he was dead, patrons from those clubs were not happy. They had to check out what caused the death of this young chap who was quite brilliant, and they found out that he was OD'd by tramadol. And then all fingers pointed to the pharmacist. Nobody wanted to let the pharmacist go. And because of the attention the case got, in 30 days, the pharmacist and Osas were charged to court for murder. Now, the police found everything they needed on Osar's phone: voice notes, payment receipt, test orders they retrieved from the pharmacy. Now, the only reason the pharmacist is in custody is because his license was the one that licensed the premise. At the High Court in Uselu, when they actually gave the judgment, the pharmacist was just seated calm. I actually felt pity for him that day. He didn't speak. Now, the charges that were read were unlawful dispensing of controlled substance, gross professional negligence contributing to the death of a minor. Now, they both pleaded not guilty. Now, in the end, because the court wanted to make it a lesson for everyone, both of them were sentenced to death by hanging. Now, so people say the decision was harsh, but the pharmacist made an appeal. We are waiting for a decision by the appeal court to see if they're going to reduce the sentence. The license of Pharmacist Edward was revoked. He can no longer practice pharmacy again. Even if he comes out of the case, he does not die. Let's say they give him 6 years or 7 years, he's not going to be able to practice pharmacy again. The employer currently is nowhere to be found. Some said he traveled out of the country, but nobody knows. The pharmacy was sealed and subsequently burnt down by angry mom. The angry mom came out the day they delivered the sentence. The mom from that scene, they were happy, jubilating. They went to the pharmacy and then burnt it down. So this is the reason why most pharmacists along Kapamba Road will not sell any POM without any prescription. However, Sandra the cashier, she was released because she had no blame. All she does is collect money. The person died because someone thought selling Tramadol was not a big deal, but it was. And this story, which is a real, raw and painful story, should remind us that one wrong pill can end a bright future. So, who is to blame here? The pharmacist or the bad gang who introduced the boy to bad drug, or the young boy himself, the young boy who died? So let me know your thoughts in the comment section. Or is it all of them that are to be blamed? Alright, see you in my next video. Bye for now.